What up, y'all? It's your boy, Once Grove. This is episode 82 of Casting 495 Celebrities Worldwide, C4CW. Welcome to the show. The temperature outside has dropped to a fall-autumn temperature, and the humidity is gone. Thank God. So, today, I thought that I would discuss, as a topic on this show, imagery in rap music that is painted by lyrical writers, rhyme writers, i.e. lyricists. Dudes, chicks, people who rhyme, who kick lyrics, who bust rhymes, and who spit lyrics. In the past, you had people who would deliver content. Nowadays, you have people who deliver lack thereof in terms of visual cinematic imagery for the most part. And by the way, I hope that you're having a blessed day wherever you are in the world. If this is your first time tuning in, hey man, God bless you. If you've been here before, checking out the cast, man, God bless you as well. And I don't know if it's day or night or evening or somewhere in between where you are, but man, we really do appreciate you for tuning in, checking us out, and supporting the show. So, back in the day, man, you had rappers who were incredibly talented, like Ice-T, for example. I could be wrong, as always. It's never the case that I'm 100% correct all the time. I do think that I had seen something in an interview that Ice-T did. I haven't fact-checked any of this information currently. I haven't logged into Wikipedia or Googled this information. I suppose that I could. I just do these podcasts spontaneously, and this is a mobile podcast. It's just whatever comes to mind, man. It's at the spur of the moment. So, Ice-T, from what I recall, he'd been in the U.S. military. I'd say Army, and I think a lot of people who just kind of listen passively, they don't really know or would think that Ice-T was in the U.S. military, but he actually served in the military. I do remember a separate interview. I want to say, was it Jay Leno or was it Conan O'Brien? Something like that, late night TV, where he was thanked for his service, and that is having served in the military by whichever late night talk show host that was. It was an awesome interview. It was funny, it was candid, it was down to earth. It was like they got kind of wacky a little bit, in the skit that they did where there was like some gunshot that rang out or something. It was all in fun, all in jest. Because Ice-T has played that hardcore hustler, Godfather, street patriarch for a long time. And so I want to say it was Conan O'Brien. I don't think it was Jay Leno. But Ice-T, man, I've seen in a couple of interviews that he was in the military, he served, and a lot of people don't know that. They're just like, man, Ice-T, from his lyrics, like, you wouldn't, think like, yo, this man was in the U.S. military. Because of the content in his rhymes. But he did serve. He did. And he talks about how when he was in the military, one of the things that people were doing in the military at that time is that they would use the money that they were earning from being in the military to build up DJ equipment, audio equipment, like sound equipment, like home audio equipment, because they had the funds to do that while they were in the military. And then they would have these DJ, like kind of like sound wars between the different, within their unit or wherever they were, barracks, what have you. They would try to outdo each other, like down the hallway with the sounds, and they would have like a spin off or like a sound blast off, like radio wars kind of thing going on. And but Ice-T, man, he has been not only one of the top paid, top billed artists and Hollywood movie actors, rap artists and Hollywood movie artists. He is someone who has the ability to produce lyrical, visual, cinematic landscapes with the tongue. He's not just a wordsmith. The brother creates a Hollywood picture for audiences, and no one really does that anymore, man, in the same way that Ice-T used to do that. Another artist who used to be able to do that, and I'm not saying that he still can't or that Ice-T still can't. I believe that these rappers who I'm referring to, Ice-T and Too Short, I believe that they still make music videos. I believe that they're still making music and they're still in the streets at times getting down with their people and whatnot and the people. And they, like Ice-T, Too Short, the rapper Too Short, he was someone who could create those visual landscapes with the tongue, with his rhymes, with the words, and do so in a way that was unprecedented, unlike anyone else had ever done it before. Now, his thing was a little bit more erotic, a little bit more, it was more, and I'm just being honest, it was on the sexual side of things, because he was about pimping, macking, and talking about hoes and shit, bitches. And so, like, his whole thing was kind of like sexual content, like explicit in a way, whereas Ice-T is talking about like guns, gangs, cartels, kingpin type shit. Kind of same as Too Short, but just on a different level of hustling, right? Like from a different hustler's angle or lens. But sometimes similar, sometimes the same, like crossover, in other words, identical, man, with each other, you know? They would touch upon the same topics about being in the streets of California specifically. And yeah, man. So a lot of times you'd hear Too Short talking about one angle of the hustle game, and then you would hear Ice-T talk about another hustle or angle of the hustle game, and then you would have like I meant not crossover, I meant overlap. Well, yeah, same thing, overlap. But some people might take it to mean with its multiple meanings that I meant that they're doing one style of rap or music or art, and then it becomes some other form. I'm not talking about crossover in that sense of it. I'm saying overlap. Like they would be talking about the same concepts, which is about hustling overall, first of all, and then just being in the streets of California overall. Too Short's pimping, in the rhymes, Ice-T, now that I think about it, also had that pimp strut, that pimp in. So yeah, definitely overlap, man. Trifecta right there, 3 dots in the calculus, man. And yeah, so you had that, and those two are West Coast kingpins from the gate, from the beginning. They started, they were the beginning of gangsta rap. Whether you were gangsta pimping, gangsta macking, or just like being a G man in the streets, just being a pimp, right? That was gangsta. It was gangsta though. Think about it, on levels, and or could be construed as. So definitely overlap, 100% overlap. A lot of times. Too Short wasn't really on the gunplay talk. Like he didn't talk so much about guns and ammo. Ice-T coming from the military, right? He was, I would say, more military minded. Maybe not in reality. Maybe Too Short has a absolutely equally military strategy based oriented mind, right? Just like Ice-T, even though I don't know if Too Short was in the military, but let's suppose for a moment that he wasn't. Ice-T, he had a little bit more emphasis on the heavy duty, like heavy machine gun Uzi carbines, and like Mac 10s, and like the gun play in the streets, like the gang shit, right? So those are kind of the fundamental differences. And but they were both talking about money, getting money from hustling, getting riches. And so Too Short, when he would rhyme, he would depict this California landscape in a way that was visual in your mind's eye. It's not like these mumble idiots today, these imbecilious moron buffoons, these moronic jerks, right? That are running around now with their ridiculous like outfits and costumes on, right? Nothing like that. Nothing like the stuff they talk about. And if they're trying to be hard on the mic and they're trying to say some like really like hyped up shit, they're still not doing it with the same quality and level of sophistication. There was a level of sophistication, and it was artistic in a way where you don't see that art today. So I just paused and then unpaused, man, and thought about it for a moment, because I really wanted to pin what it was that made that era different and how those rappers were so much different and are from these rappers today. Like what is the, like if I had to say there were 1, 2, 3 elements that made those rappers better than rappers today in terms of quality and sophistication, I think what it was at its root, was at its core, was that rappers then were still coming from the mindset that when they put out an album, it had to be a big Hollywood production, and it had to sound a certain way. There was a requirement. There was an expectation that an album sound a certain way when you made an album back then. Nowadays, you could just, like this podcast, you just make anything, not even mix it down very well. Just record it raw and fucking put it out on YouTube or, social media, the internet, the web. And it might sound a little crackly, might have some plosives, some P's and S's, some little sounds that people make when they smack their lips and shit, like I do. Niggas just like drinking on the mic, just shit for effect, where most people be like, dude, we got to edit this down. No, that's not how you do podcasts, man. In my opinion, like, you can have yours. Like, you just record it raw as far as I'm concerned, because it's just real shit. It doesn't need to be all clean and neat and tidy and fucking sounding like you spent $1,000 an hour or more in some top New York or LA studio. No, fuck all that, man. That shit takes time and money and energy. And it's like, yeah, it sounds all neat and tidy and crystal clear. But you know what, man? Fuck all that. Man, just turn the mic on. Just record some shit. Have some, some noises and stuff, man. And who gives a fuck, right? Well, back then, you couldn't do that. You could, but it wasn't, a good idea if you wanted to make a platinum album, right? Something that would, like, actually generate huge sums. Tremendous revenue, right? Sums of revenue, amounts of revenue. So back then, regardless of whether you were doing erotic raps or street gunplay, gangsta, ex-military raps and shit, right? You had to record, man, your music on a certain level to get that dough. Nowadays, a nigga can make $1 million just doing a 2-minute video in the streets of New York with a bunch of niggas from the neighborhood milli rocking. Like, you could just milli rock with the homies on an iPhone or something, throw it up on YouTube, get a million fucking plays, and make you like 350,000 or, get you get you 5 million plays. Get you 5 million plays. Get you 5 million plays and make $350,000, man. What was your budget? You didn't really have one. You just had a fucking camera that's just some like, just some iPhone or some Android or what, man, it ain't even got to be like some spectacular fucking camera. You just get everybody in the neighborhood to play along with you and shit. And this isn't any business advice. I'm just saying, or legal advice, Hey, man, your city jurisdiction, you might have to have like film permits and shit and like, releases and shit for niggas that be in the film and like logos and like, stuff like this. I don't know. All I'm saying is that niggas is doing that though. They just shoot a quick and dirty video, throw that shit up on the web, get registered on YouTube is a nigga who's producing content. Man, make $350,000, man. Shit like that a long time ago used to take weeks, months, like a year to put a whole album together. And that's what cats used to do. That was the expectation. That was their craft, is they would craft it in this way where it would be impeccable. like quality sound wise, and then lyrically, you had to be talented back then. Nowadays, you could just be goofy, silly, wacky, and not even, I mean, if you call that talent, I mean, I get it. Like, it could be talent, but, because it's comedy, right? But a lot of times, man, like now, people are just looking for something that's new, fresh, different, and it doesn't have to be talented in the way that talent before was expected to exist in the content. Like, there was talent was an element back in the day, and it was required, man, and it was an expectation, and it was anticipated. And if there was no talent there is pretty much no fucking way you were gonna make any dough. Now it's different, man. You can make dough now and not have those elements in place like you used to. So that's another thing. And then cats back then, man, like Ice-T and Slick Rick is another phenomenal artist that had that storytelling storytelling ability, as did Too Short and Ice-T. Slick Rick, what was it, Children's Story? Slick Rick, man, also right up there, like equally across the board with the aforementioned artist. He too had that gift, that knack, that ability, right? And would paint the picture of a Hollywood movie. And these artists did so in a way that hasn't so much been replicated today. It hasn't been reproduced today. There have been a lot of people trying. There have been a lot of tries, but mostly fails, man. Mostly fails. Because the other thing that came to my mind when I paused and I came back to the podcast and I was like, let me just wrap my mind around it, man. Let me just put my finger on it. Let me just pin it to a T, X, Y, Z axes, coordinates, right? Connect up, right? Calculus. What it was back then, man, there was a level of intelligence that doesn't exist today in today's rap. I'm not saying niggas is stupid. Physiologically, people are born DNA-wise humans as they have been. But I'm saying back then, you had to tap into a certain level of intelligence, not just quality, just understanding of what the crowd expects, what the world expects, what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and to use vocabulary that is meaningful and has substance, right? People say a lot of vapid, pedestrian, trite shit nowadays, like word usage, terminology. It's just fucking sloppy, man. Nowadays, like, niggas is just like not on a good footing, man, and not on a good lyrical path. They're not in touch with that foundation from before, the old foundational system of the like crest, right? The heritage, the lineage of like hip hop rap. They want to be, but you have to exude a certain level of intelligence. So if you want an example, man, one of the raddest songs ever created in the history of rap, in the universe of rap music, actually, there are two that come to mind. So I mentioned Children's Story, Slick Rick. I can't remember if that's the exact title. I don't know if it was a child's story or something like that, but something along the lines to the effect of Children's Story. One of the songs that he recorded back in the day, Ice-T did, that was and is to this day one of the most visually compelling, captivating, fucking stunning, like raddest lyrically visual landscapes is the song Midnight. I've talked about it before, man. I've propped it up for years. I've like YouTube, like thumbed it up with comments, and I've told folks like, yo, man, y'all need to pay attention. That rhyme, what it epitomizes is a quintessential West Coast hairs on my arm are standing up, because I remember, man, like, that rap is fucking devastatingly dope. Like, it's got the rock beat, okay? It's, first of all, it's like rock rap, right? And because Ice-T, man, he's in a band. and has been, right? So it's not just rap, it's like rap, like rock, like metal, like, right? And it's like, listen to my 9mm go bang, right? That shit, man. The song itself, what I'm building up to here, man, is if you don't fucking know about the song, if you're a rap artist in the 21st century, or you call yourself a rap artist, and you think that you have hard lyrics because you think you're talking about all this shit, right? And you think that it sounds hard to you in the context of what you know, right? And what you think. Ice-T's Midnight is about some shit that went down on the West fucking Coast back when the West Coast was fucking gang, like at the height of some gang war shit, like police, gang, drug, crack war, epidemic, fucking U.S. like gang war shit, right? Man, I urge you to analyze the lyrics to the fucking song and listen to the song and understand what Ice-T's talking about. Now, a lot of other people don't know. Like, I don't know how accurate this is. You're going to have to check the veracity of it, right? Fact check it. I don't know if this is true, but I'm going to go out on a limb. I think Ice-T had been affiliated. I don't know to this day, like what his status is, active, inactive. But back in the day, seeing his interviews and whatnot, and just being a huge fan, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, that he had connections to Crip sets or a Crip set in California. I don't know that he was a Crip. I'm not saying that he wasn't, but I'm not saying that he was either, right? Because I don't fucking know, but I do remember something about Crip neighborhood, perhaps, or affiliation in some way, like either loosely or tightly or somehow being, like connected in some way to Crip niggas on the streets of fucking LA, like real shit, right? And I was very clear about that I don't know that exact connection, right? But it wasn't Blood's gang, right? I'm not saying Ice-T's fucking one of the West Coast MC kings, and he even says so, man, at the beginning of Rhyme Pays, right? And at some point, he was number fucking one in the world for that, okay? He was number fucking one at some point in the whole United States. He was the top number one rapper at some point in America's history of hip-hop, urban music, Billboard charts, and what have you, right? So, in the song, he talks about different gang neighborhoods. He says in one of his lines, he says, see over there, red, don't go. So he says the color red. See over there, red, don't go. In other words, red is unacceptable. You do not do red in that neighborhood. And then he says, other places, red is all, well, he says, in other places, red's all they know. Other places, red's all they know. In other words, in those other neighborhoods, it's all red and it's only red, and that's all they're fucking with is red. And he says, we was deep in the Hoover's hood, right? He talks about being deep in the Hoover's hood, bro, which is a Crip set. It's a Crip neighborhood. Okay, Hoover Crip, no joke. Long history of gang legacy. Okay, so in that rhyme, he's talking about how they were in a Hoover neighborhood, right? And he also starts off by saying, in the first part of the rap, the very first verse 1, he says, midnight, chilling at AM, PM, chilling, sipping, drinking, chillin', sippin', drinking apple juice and Evil's BM. The sounds of laughter attract attention. Armor-all tires on a lowered suspension, right? So they're chilling in fucking LA on the set, bro, at an AM PM gas station. And at some point he says, some nigga strolled up, something nigga walked up, talking about get out. Like some nigga approached their vehicle, right? I don't have the lyrics in front of me, but it's something to that effect. He said, all approach talking about get out, like get out the ride, nigga type shit, right? So Evil Lee, his DJ at the time, DJ Evil Lee. So Evil Lee blazed, shot the fool through his fucking mouth or some shit like that, right? Dude, that's maniac shit, bro. That's some ill West Coast shit. Niggas, they chilling in the car, sipping apple juice in Evil Lee's BMW at an AM PM. That's gangsta shit. And then, like you said, sounds of laughter attract attention, armor-all tires on a lowered suspension. So they're sitting in a high-performance vehicle, AM PM, there's some laughs and shit going on, everybody chilling, and then some nigga just walks up talking about get out. Evil Lee doesn't even fucking hesitate. He pulls out his strap and shot the fool through his fucking mouth. What? What the fuck? That is gangsta. Yo. He says, like, I'm not going to give away the whole thing, man, because it's his rhyme, and this is just a reaction video analysis of legendary, great, masterful rhyme artists, rhyme architects, lyricists, true master wordsmiths, people who could actually paint Hollywood movie grade level productions with words, unlike today's rap artists mostly. And so the rhyme, the rap, the landscape, and the events that unfold in this rhyme, Midnight, are so fucking intense, bro. Like, when you listen to it, you know some shit like that happened in real life. Because that shit was going on the West Coast, like, all the time. Like, I'm going to let you know, man, without going into details, like, we saw shit like that happen, bro. Like, just, you know, like, that stuff was common, though. Like, it was common. And the way that he puts it into perspective, it's like, you know he ain't making that up. Like, that's not fake, man. That ain't studio gangsta shit. Like, that actual event may not be 100% something that took place with him, but it happened on the West Coast, right? It might have happened with him, but I don't know. You know what I mean? And you know, but yo, man, so he said at some point in the rhyme, he says, check the rear view, they was still out back. What is, he said, check the rear view, they was still out back. He's talking about checking the rear view mirror. And the niggas is still tailing the car, right? Cause they, he said, what made these niggas come? He says, what made these niggas come? Bang, our back window was removed by a shotgun. Bro, that shit is lunatic, bro. Yo, for real. Like, if you lived on the West Coast like I did, man, if you lived in that era where it was some desperado shit, man, when every nigga in the neighborhood was packing fucking a pistol, bro, with the holster, without the holster, maybe one with the holster, maybe one without the holster, niggas had fucking arsenals, bro. Like little niggas, like 7, 8-year-old niggas would be out on the block with the homies and shit. And I'm just saying, like, you couldn't tell them nothing. You couldn't be like, yo, little boy, go back inside, nigga, and don't come out here in these streets. Nigga, they're armed up with straps, bro. I saw ill shit, bro, on the West Coast. I'm talking illmatic shit. Like, my niggas know, 495 know, nigga Deep in Everett know, nigga Level 4 know. Bro, come on, man. Every motherfucker from the West Coast who was in the streets in the 1980s, 1990s, come on, bro. Come on. You know the Ice-T Midnight rap, bro, is true as fuck, though. You know that shit was going down on some regular shit. I'm talking, man, look, I've seen dope fiends like beat each other like in crack houses, bro. And I'm not saying like beat each other to death, but I've seen bass heads like fight over crack rocks and shit, man. Like, nigga get hit in his back with a hockey stick type shit, bro. Right? Some shit like that. Just like some ill shit, man. Motherfuckers with cars crashing, high-speed chases, fucking gunshots downtown, helicopters looking for niggas and shit. Just, man, come on, bro. Like, I seen shit in, like, back when the gang war shit was on, man, I was talking about it in one of the other podcasts. We came out in the parking lot once at this club where it was 21 and over and we couldn't get in because we weren't even 21. And there were these niggas, these Bloods and Crips that were pitted against each other. Like you see in design drawings and illustrations. Like where you see like Chicago gangs, like imagery. Like if you go on Google right now and you type Chicago gangs, right? If you type Chicago gangs, okay, and you look at images, there's going to be a picture that's a cartoon drawing where it shows like the gang sets, like, and they are, they're characterized by the different organizations that they're part of. So like if they're dragons, it'll show like a dragon next to them. If they're cobras, it'll show like a cobra, like the actual animal next to them that represents that organization, right? And like, so you see all that. So when you've seen the Bloods and Crips in imagery that's like cartoon, design, graphic illustration, man, I'm telling you, bro, we came out into this parking lot one night at this club. We came around the corner because we were young and we wasn't supposed to be up in the club, but we used to hang outside the club and listen to the music and see if the back door was open, see if we could like look in and see some hot chicks and shit, maybe get in, you know, talk to some older niggas we knew, you know, rap for a minute, maybe have them buy us some drink or something, you know what I mean? And so, man, we're fucking posted up at this place and fucking, we come around this corner and there were these niggas, man, that were squared off against these other niggas. One side was Bloods. They were in this parking lot at this club having this silent battle on the side of the building. And we just come around the corner straight up, like no bullshit. There was like 50 niggas on one side, 50 on the other side. I'm talking 50. They had cars deep. They was deep in rides. Like, nigga, they was having a rumble. We used to call it a rumble, right? Now you probably thinking, man, you talking about some some old school stage play type shit, right? Niggas with like rolled up like denim jeans and shit. Okay? You talk about niggas like knuckle fighting with chains and like switchblades and stuff like that. Okay? Like the play? No, bro. No. I'm talking about this was the next level of that. This is when niggas started to show up, nigga, at the gang battle at the Rumble with the fucking Mac 10 and the Tech 9 and the Uzi fucking short and the fucking 9 milli and all the shits, okay? This was the fucking time when the gang shit was fucking bracking off on the streets of America. Real talk shit. So yo, check game. So these dudes were draped. They were draped in blue on one side. They were draped in red on the other side. This is a real fucking story, man. This is a real thing. And these dudes were squared off, man, with each other. And we just happened to come around the corner and see what was going to be a royal rumble. But gone from just like punching and stick fighting and fucking knives and knuckles and shit, like brass knuckles, knuckle rings and shit, man. This shit was about to be not a throwdown in the old school way, man. Like West Side Story and shit. This wasn't gonna be some rolled up denim jeans and rolled up like shirt sleeves with motherfuckers with grease back, you know, greaser like slicked up hair and shit, like punching each other in faces, and then at the end of that they just dust themselves off. Bro, these dudes were about to fucking blow each other away, man, on some real gangster fucking West Coast shit. And so these dudes were faced off, and these two gang leaders were there. One side, the Bloods, they were actually Asian gangs, man. They were Asian gangsters. They were Asian Bloods. And they were squared off with these black dudes, man, these fucking Crips. Now the Asian niggas, they had a couple black dudes with them as well. But these niggas were the Bloods. I'm being honest, this is real. And it's not that I'm biased because I'm from Bloods gang. You know what I'm saying? Myself, I was younger. We were younger than them dudes. We were Bloods, but them Asian dudes, they were older than us. And we were fucking like coming up in the game. These dudes already had all the sport. We were on foot and shit. Foot soldiering in and shit, man. These dudes had all the sports cars. Like, literally, these niggas was draped up. The one side of the parking lot, blue cars, blue whips, blue motherfucker. And when I say whips, man, for those who don't know, man, I'm talking about a car, okay? Blue cars, blue hats, blue fucking shoelaces, blue Chuck Taylors, blue Nike G.O.A.T.s Cortez, nigga, everything blue. Bitches, niggas and bitches. I'm talking there were females, bro, like with each gang. Like, I'm talking about Cripettes, Bloodettes. Like, they had the full gang shit going on. And these dudes were not playing. They had the blue bandanas, nigga, the blue flags. The Bloods niggas had the same shit, but all red. Red shoelaces, fat shoelaces, red fucking Chucks, red Converse, fucking red ball cap, red fucking beanie cap, red fucking flag, red scarf, nigga, red sports car, nigga, I rock Z. Look, man, that shit, if the cameras of hyperspace surveillance could go back and peer into those times, bro, and see that shit, man, that was real legit shit, man. And that happened right in front of our faces, right in front of our young eyes, man. Them dudes were squared off in the parking lot. In that same parking lot, it was in the news. Because the thing is gangs would meet up at clubs, man, and then they'd have a face-off and shit. And at some point, I'm not saying those two exact gang sets, but there was some shit that popped off there one night, man, where a nigga got shot in his dome. He got blasted in his dome. Shot in his head, like square, like fucking, like point blank range, like shot in his dome, right? Lived. Shit was in the newspaper. In fact, we know the nigga who it was. You feel me? Like, I'm saying not who blasted dude, but we know the dude who got blasted, this Crip dude and shit. And that was in the newspaper. Like, that shit made the newspaper. The same club, also on another occasion, resulted in a 5-city chase with police helicopters, SWAT, tactical special operations police units, fucking looking for like hordes of niggas. Like there was gangs against gangs on highway systems, shooting at each other, driving through. They said it went through 5 different cities, man. 5 different cities in the Puget Sound. Nigga, the shit started at a club, erupted into a beef. Niggas clashed. They had the claps with the guns, the hammers, the jammies, the bangers, the heaters. Nigga, they was like, back, got. And just started dumping, bro. And the niggas was like going, evasive action, nigga, hitting, running, dipping, ducking and shit. Nigga, hopped in their rides and just started G-ride shooting, nigga, through. And I'm not glorifying it. I'm telling you, that shit was lunatic. nigga, that shit was in the newspaper. 5-city car chase. Nigga, like, I don't know how many gangs were involved. Helicopters, newscasters, and niggas was so heated at each other, so mad and angry at each other, nigga, for wearing the different colors, dog, that they was gunning through 5 cities and shit. Police following, niggas shooting at cops shooting at niggas shooting at niggas. That's real shit that happened. You don't fucking believe me? Read that shit on the motherfucking goddamn internet. That happened. And shit like that, man, back in the 80s and 90s. Come on, dude. Come on, man. That shit happened all the time. Hey, that shit was a regular occurrence back then. That was brazy though. Like that night, that was brazy. Like I heard about it the next day. I wasn't at the club that night. I heard about it the next day. And but the one time we were at that club, right? Right off Broadway and shit, right at the intersection, the 4-way intersection, just right down the street from the fucking Pacific Ocean, West Coast and shit, where all the gang sets would meet up in the Pacific Northwest, West Coast. Bro, yo, hey, they had a train tunnel, right? We used to run through the tunnel with the spray paint and then evade the police and come out on the other side. And niggas is like, man, y'all running the tunnel. Y'all, this is crazy. Like, y'all got to stop running the tunnel. We'd be down there, man, with our crew, and we'd run it, We ran it once and a train came through and shit, you know what I mean? At the last millisecond, bro. And but so that was the stage. That was the set in terms of like real West Coast, like you see in the movies. So there was the West Coast, California, from Mexico, California, all the way up the map, Oregon, Washington, Vancouver, British Columbia. Ice-T's rhyme, fucking jit, bro. Legit. Hey. So in Ice-T's rhyme, Midnight, right? This dude, Ice-T, this master rapper, he goes on to say, man, he said, there were 2 more carloads, niggas in hats and hoods in an attack mode. Yo, that's the only citations that I'm going to cite and reference because, first of all, it's his rap. This is a reaction video, okay? Fair use and what have you. I want you to listen to his rhyme. I'm just reviewing the rap. I want you to peep it if you haven't, if you ain't hip to it, man, and I want you to listen to the cinematic quality of it, okay? He says, there were 2 more. He said, what made these niggas come? Hey, bro. Oh my God, man. We've seen shit like that, bro. He said, there were 2 more carloads, niggas in hats and hoods in an attack mode. Bro. Yo, the U.S. Vest fucking Coast, bro. So many exploits, bro. So many missions. So many fucking this camp, this clan, this set, that set, that gang, that cartel, this mob. Dude, bro, surreal. It's fucking like it was a parallel universe, dude. Like niggas in survival mode, bro. You'd wake up, nigga, you wake up eating fucking cup of noodles and shit. Top ramen, nigga, on the same with the microwave right next to the same stove that you would cook the crack rock powder cocaine up and base rock it up, nigga. You be using the same microwave to microwave your cup of noodles that you use to rock up the rock, nigga. This shit was ill, bro. You wasn't even drinking water and juice and shit, nigga. You was drinking 40s, nigga. Waking up and shit with the cigarette butt in it, nigga. Then you might go to the store and get you some new drink and shit. Nick, man, bro, I'm talking about trap house, nigga. Like, come on, man. Before trap existed in the sense of how it is now in the world, where it's all like trap music and shit, right now is the big shit. Come on, bro. We did trap in the real world. And we did the gang shit, bro. And man, I am not glorifying it. I'm saying that was a dark era, bruh. Brothers and sisters, brethrens, that shit was a dark era, man. And man, that was some medieval shit, though. Medieval as fuck. And when you go back and you do the research and you look at history of how the West was won, right? When you go back and look at it, man, with the forensic fine-tooth comb lens and shit, electron tunneling, hyper surveillance, right? Surveillance, fucking microscope and shit, bro. When you pin dot peep it and shit through the corridors of time, that shit was ultra illmatic. And the best in the world, the best in the fucking whole world, the whole universe of rhyme artistry, lyrical artistry, urban musical dissection, deconstruction of events and information, niggas like Ice-T, niggas like Too Short, niggas like Slick Rick, master lyricists, man. Grand master lyricists. To this day, no one's doing it like they did it. I mean, you have exceptions to the rule. You have Eminem. You still have Dr. Dre. You still have Dr. Dre and M. You still have cats, man, that come from that lineage, Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? Because they understood coming from NWA, coming from Eazy-E, coming from that lineage of Dr. Dre, okay? Going back to Eminem and 50 and G-Unit. They know how to paint that picture. They know what that mosaic is supposed to look like, okay? They embody that era, okay? They exude that, and they're exemplary in that, and it's exemplified by them, okay? Other niggas, whereas, come on, man, they lost it. It's like the Dark Ages or having been in the period of enlightenment versus like the Dark Ages. Like, niggas just don't get it still. They don't know what it really used to be like. They think they're talking some hard shit on the microphone. Nowadays, they think that what they're saying is like real illmatic, right? And real hard. Nigga, 99% of the time, man, the shit ain't though. You know? Go back and listen to Ice-T Midnight. Go back and listen to Too Short's Born to Mac or Dope Fiend Beat. Go back and listen to the Slick Rick Chronicles, man, the Annals and Chronicles and Saga of Slick Rick the Ruler. Go back and peep those types of artists, man, and listen to their supreme level of artistry and compare and contrast and juxtapose, and you'll know that One Sir Grove is 100% correct. I'm your boy.